thank you for joining me yet again. This is the first and probably the only Goodbye Psychopaths that I'm reading from a script, and the reasons for this will become clear in the next few minutes. Thank you. As many will already know, the motivation behind these chats is to help educate and inform others who, like ourselves 6 years ago, are still unaware of the depth of the crisis here in New Zealand. Without our ongoing trauma, we would find it hard to believe the degree of ethical and moral corruption that has secretly and silently perfused our New Zealand way of life. And yes, we are a little different from the rest of the developed world in this, sadly. For 25 years, Trish and myself have stepped out of a predominantly reactive medical model to seek the deeper causes of ill health. We treat illness psychopathically where appropriate, but look beyond to the roots of ill health, and perhaps more importantly, to the roots of true health. This has been enormously rewarding for us, not financially necessarily, but very enriching for our hearts, bodies and souls. It means, though, that we have had to identify toxicities in our environment and our society to help people purify their lives. As a qualified doctor, I have a strong ethical and moral imperative to identify and report dangerous pathogens and then do my best to eliminate them. Like all those similarly affected or infected, we did not openly invite the scourge of psychopathy into our lives. To relate psychopathy, metaphorically, to a viral illness or a cancer is not too far-fetched. Not only have we personally witnessed and continue to witness the malignant effects of this pathogen on ourselves, we are now on a daily basis witness to the fallout of this hidden epidemic around the country. The hopes and health of hundreds, possibly thousands, have been affected, admittedly to varying degrees of seriousness. Some will have been able to shake off the trauma and continue their lives relatively unscathed. However, more will have moved on with hurt and with their anger unresolved. Of these, some will bury their trauma in drink and drugs and sugar even. Not only will they try unsuccessfully to bury their hurt, they will carry the guilt imposed on them so wickedly by the source of their psychopathy. They are the many who suffered unknowingly from complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and their lives are in danger from the toxic effects of these addictive substances concealing their anger and grief. In addition, repression of their emotions and the blame and the shame that they carry has a direct effect on their immune systems. It is known that such stress contributes to chronic illness, heart disease, cancer, and of course depression, insomnia and anxiety. And of course it breaks up homes and relationships. But this session is not really aimed at the psychopathic source that continues to wreak such havoc in our community. It is at the cover-up of this epidemic by the institutions who now know of its existence, but through greed prefer to let the suffering continue. Two of these institutions or corporations have the letters NZ in their name, something that over the years we would have expected to mean they carry the interest of New Zealanders at their core. But now, after 3 to 4 decades of so-called neoliberalism, their only motivation seems to be shareholder and personal profit. They appear to be run by greedy people who have reached the so-called top of their field, so they can fill the emptiness of their souls with money and materialism. Some will be satisfied in this life, at least by this, but most will end up sick and lonely and unfulfilled. A small percentage will be genetically programmed to try to fill this hole by relishing the suffering of others. This is a depravity we wouldn't have imagined 6 years ago, but sadly it has been perhaps our most important lesson. And so for the sake of greed and profit, a few at the top of our society structure, in our media, our banks, and sadly our legal and government systems, are willing to let such situations continue. The majority in these corporations are of course decent, intelligent, compassionate human beings with varying degrees of awareness of the corruption, but also all with varying degrees of powerlessness. Over the last 6 years we have frequently witnessed within the same hour this great dichotomy of the human soul. One moment witnessing the love and dedication of families and caregivers looking after the sick and the dying. Next moment the lying and cheating from those consumed by greed and fear. If we are grateful for anything, it is for this experience of the full drama of life. So this is a call to the 95+% who work in these institutions to speak out. They can form groups to protect themselves. As in recent months, those who have sought and found such truths have been ruthlessly expelled from their jobs. And from our observation, these are our best people. If our experiences carry any meaning, we hope they serve as a catalyst for change and waking up the majority who call this magnificent country home. The major corporations may feel they can steal our personal sovereignty with their psychopathic ways. Well, they can't and they won't. We won't let them. And remember, it is us, not them, that are too big to fail. Thank you. Yes, and please share and spread the word and subscribe. Thank you. Bless you all. Bye.